Okay. Is this message for starseeds, way showers, any of the third wave? If you're having a lot of trouble sleeping, it's to be expected. I'm not quite sure what the science is or any of that, but I can tell you that I'm having trouble myself, and I also have like tons of ant bites on my feet right now, so that's driving me crazy, but I digress. Anyway, kind of wanted to get in here and channel a little message that Spirit has been really like nailing me with, and I didn't really want to do this, to be honest, but I can't really avoid it. Anyway, so what I've been getting lately is it's a frequency thing. There is kind of another big recalibration that is happening where you've kind of leveled up. But the issue at hand is that with the recalibration, you're feeling the excitement, the higher vibrational frequency of what's coming, because you can feel it. It's like a carrot dangling in front of you, and you keep reaching for it, and you're like, I'm hungry, I want that carrot, I want that carrot. But the world around you, all the people who are not in this particular ascension period, they're actually having to catch up, which is going to take a minute. But because you can tell that it's happening, it's almost like you're already there, but you have to kind of balance the energy of what you know is coming with the energy of where you are right now. This is also the reason why it's so hard to talk to people right now, because all of the conversations that you're having are about stuff that you're not dealing with, or that you're not having to deal with, because you're in the process of recalibrating to this new personal frequency. So as you're grounding this new recalibration, the people around you are acting as if nothing is happening, because nothing is happening for them. And the conversations that you want to be having, because you're uncomfortable and you're trying to acclimate to something that is so foreign and not here yet, that the conversation gaps and are intense, you know. One of the things that I've been guided to do is more meditation, especially walking meditation, silence, trying not to move too far ahead, try and really get grounded, especially my feet in the grass. I'd say the conversations are hard, you know, because talking about what somebody's going through when you're in the process of dialing in a whole new calibrated frequency, you can't help but want to talk about things regarding this transformation you're going through. However, someone who's not on the ascension path at the moment is going to be talking about, you know, how much they paid for the broom last week, or the good deal they got on their car, or the guy that won't call them back. And right now, these conversations, they seem to you, or more on the mundane side of things, what I've been guided to do is to actually engage these conversations and ground in them, and to actually ask more questions about what the people are going through, because on some quantum scale, their quintessence is also processing this, but it's not processing this the same way that you are. It's more metaphorical. So the distance between what they want and their goals is what they're calling to, which is very similar and parallel to what you're calling to. They're just manifesting those gaps in a different way. They're manifesting those gaps in the physical realm. And as we both all know, anyone who's still listening, grounding in the physical realm is very different than grounding in the spiritual realm. So I've been guided by Spirit to talk about how to find that middle blending point, that bridge, that 4D platform where you can calibrate yourself, your own frequency, and at least call to the recalibration of the people around you as well, by having those conversations with them about the broom, or about the boyfriend, or about the car, because they're actually experiencing very parallel experiences, but the way in which they're processing what's happening is through a physical manifestation of that, whereas you're processing that from a more spiritual manifestation. The blend between the physical manifestation and the spiritual manifestation is connection. So the bridge has little to do with our thoughts on how we're calibrating this gap, and more to do with connecting with another in any way possible, about the car, or about your spiritual experience, or about your ascension if they want to have that conversation, or about the broom that they bought last week. The connection point is connecting with another person, another human. That's the 4D bridge. So it isn't about the transference of how we speak on our experience. It's about the connection of the two of us around that experience. And has little to do with the signposts that we adhere to, these energetic calibrations. So I think I did a decent job trying to describe that. Basically, Spirit has been guiding me to speak on being the bridge, how to be the bridge, how to bridge the gap and find the middle ground between 3D and 5D, so we can all cohesively exist in this 4D plane between the physical and the spiritual. And extreme to the spiritual, it may feel more appropriate for you because that's where you're transposing. When you're transposing your experience to some sort of verbiage around your 5D spiritual experience, you're putting language to an energetic experience. When somebody who lives in a more practical reality, a 3D reality, is transposing their energetic experience, they're transposing it with the language of the 3D. So, all this to say, this 4D plane, the bridge, the place between the 3D and the 5D, the place between the practical and the spiritual, or some might even say the 3D practical is the masculine, the 5D spiritual is the feminine. the blending, the merging point between the divine feminine and the divine masculine is a connection. And how is that connection found? That connection is found through compassion, empathy, love, holding space, understanding, understanding, sharing, laughing, finding connection through parallels of any sort. The language might be different, the signposts might be different, but the experience of the energetic calibration that you are experiencing is the same that they're experiencing. They're just a little more aware of it, a little more intuitive, a little more spiritually minded, abstract, right-brained. And they are in a more practical, left-brained approach with signposts that are more in this 3D realm, you know, the practical way in which we all have to live, which we're all capable of having these conversations. But because of this recalibration that we're going through and the discomfort that it's bringing, it's making the conversations hard, because it's hard enough to have a conversation when you're comfortable, let alone when you're experiencing a recalibration and discomfort. This is where it's important to slow down, be present, ask a lot of questions, and try and really bring in the experience of connecting. Because this is what we're doing. We're actually grounding this recalibration into a blending point and recalibrating the divine masculine and the divine feminine within us, and I guess without us as well, externally and internally. So, I don't know, I hope that helps. I'm not even sure what I said, but anyway, recalibrate well and stay safe. I love you. Stay well. And I'll be here if you have any questions.